Protection protocols are being enacted. Termination authorized.
Run!
Please return to your home. A curfew is in effect. Please return to your homes. A curfew is in effect. Please return to your homes. A curfew is in effect.
Curfew? No. It's called civilian rights. There is no curfew.
Return to your home immediately.
Well, when do you make the rules, Robot? Hey. No. Robot, I'm talking to you, man. Stop this.
Weapon deemed hazardous. Termination authorized.
Deploying Guardians.
Hands away from your body now! Do not move!
Guardians ready to drop.
Turn around! Now slowly put your hands behind your back.
Great job.
It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids, it can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks. Whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
Alongside real police. This is not a movie. The T-800 by Engine AI stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. It runs, executes spinning kicks, and fights with military precision. And it can operate for 5 hours straight, zero fatigue. But that's not all. China just launched the world's first humanoid robot combat league. These robots fight each other in real matches to sharpen their AI. Analysts say this cuts development time by 30%. These robots are already on real streets. Are we watching a safety upgrade, or are we building something we won't be able to turn off?
Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. The title of this video is Best Believe It Will Come to This Point in America. Killer Robots. Okay. And the stage is already being set. All right. This is why certain companies like Palantir are coming out to the forefront, and a lot of tech giants are getting involved in politics, right? Elon Musk out of nowhere involved in politics. You know what I'm saying? All of these people that are, only concerned with forwarding technological advancements are now involved in politics. They now have seats in high authority, right? And then also they're showing you actual robots, right, in real life that are, walking and acting like human beings. Okay, so this is the plan of the global elites for AI to basically coordinate humanity. All right, and if they can get that marketed beast inside of you, which is the RFID micro CHIP, if they could get that inside of you, all right, your body will be connected to this digital grid that these robots will be connected to. So, they want everybody to be one under AI Satanism. Okay. So without further ado, let's talk about the clip you just watched. Now, these were a couple movies, right? It started off with a couple movies that I, watched back in the day that pretty much tell you the plans of the global elite, how they want robots and AI to govern the world, right? So you got this movie right here. This is I, Robot, right, with Will Smith. And, a very popular movie. A lot of people know about it, I, Robot. But in this movie, all right, as you've seen in these scenes, okay, these robots have pretty much gone rogue, okay, and they started to follow their own agenda, right? You know what I'm saying? And they start attacking people, okay? And they've already said that a lot of that AI technology, okay, is pretty much developing a mind of its own, right? Elon Musk said out of his own mouth that with AI we are summoning the demon, right? So very big chance that AI will eventually just go rogue and start to do its own thing and stop listening to mankind, okay? And as you can see in this movie, people are in a world of trouble when that happens, man, right? And a lot of these robots are going to get violent with people, okay? And this is coming to the streets of America, man, all right? They're setting up the stage, okay? They're going to start introducing robots and drones, okay? Because they're already doing it out there in China, right? So they're going to bring it to America, okay? They're just waiting for the right crisis. Esau is just, he's preparing the right crisis, okay, that's going to make people, pretty much go chaotic and all out pandemonium in the streets. And this will be a way that Esau will bring order to America. He'll have these robots out here, patrolling the streets and, being the authority over people, man. Okay. So you got this scene right here, the robot pushes this guy to the ground. Okay. Right. Robots go rogue in a goddamn police station, start killing people. All right. Another movie right here called Code 8. Right. And with this movie, they show you the social credit score system. You see how the drone is identifying people. Right. This is why they want everybody to have that chip inside of them. So that way they can identify you with their drones, man. All right. And know everything about you. Okay. Right. Robots drop from the drone. You see? Hang on. My bad, Salaki. Robots drop from the drone, drop down from the drone. You know what I'm saying? Killer robots with guns on them. Okay. And this is really happening in real life. The social credit score system. You see that? Right? And in this scene, the drone identified this man and then told the police officers this man has a warrant. You see? So that's where it's coming to. All right. You walk in the streets, okay, and the drones is just going to be flying in the streets, right? And the drone will just scan you. You won't even know, but the drone will just scan you. And then next thing you know, 2 blocks later, you walk in, 2 blocks later, the police just pull up on you with their guns drawn, right? Because you didn't pay this bill, or you have a warrant out for your arrest. Okay, this is the world that they want to bring, and this all coincides with the mark of the beast. Okay, all right, boom, robots drop out of the drone, right? Because somebody got rebellious. You see, they was trying to arrest this man because the drone said that he was a criminal, right? So then the man escapes, and then what do you see? The drones drop the robots down from the sky, right? And the robots put the man to death. All right, you see? So Esau is going to give full authority to these robots, okay, out here in these streets of America, man. And these robots will be executioners. All right, they're going to execute people in the streets. All right. And this is Elon Musk. This is his Tesla robot. Don't it look a lot similar to these robots right here? You see, it's already happening, man. Okay. For people thinking that this ain't the future, it's already happening, man. iRobot, Code 8, and all these other movies that show you that robots are going to eventually take over the world. It's already happening. All right. They're getting it ready. Okay. They're getting ready to lock you people on a social credit score system. They're getting ready to make you people submit to the will of the beast, right? To where you'll biologically bind yourself to technology, right? Robots doing chores and shit, right? And then here you got the robots with the guns. This is for real. This is serious. This ain't a movie right here. This is real life, right? Out there in China, robots with guns, okay? Robot police, right? That they just unveiled. You see, out there in China. This is not a game, man. This is real life, okay? And what they've been doing is they've been doing something called predictive programming, to where they tell you what they want to do in these movies, right? Later on in the future, okay? And now we're living in the times to where we're starting to see the movies that we grew up on, where robots and technology take over the world. We're living in the times to where we're seeing it with our own eyes, right? That AI is getting ready to take over, okay? Let me get something. Let me get this real quick, right? Because Palantir, they unveiled Palantir sometime last year, okay? And I put on Google, I put Palantir robots. Let's see what Palantir has to do with robots, all right? Just to show you how close we are to this dystopian future of AI and robots. It says Palantir does not build its own physical robots, but rather acts as the foundational software, brain, and control layer for autonomous and robotic systems. You see that? They're already there. Okay. I don't want to get too deep into it, right? Because for the sake of time, right? So let's just read a couple of these bullet points. Defense and military autonomous systems. Titan. Palantir developed the U.S. Army's Titan system, which is a software-defined ground station vehicle. All right. Maven Smart System. This technology uses computer vision and multi-sensor data to rapidly identify objects on the battlefield and suggest courses of action for autonomous weapons and drones. Yep. This is all Palantir. This is what Palantir is doing. Okay. And how much money did the U.S. government, invest in the Palantir, right? Showing you that Esau he's dead serious about what I'm talking about here. Okay. He's dead serious about this. Invest into Palantir. Let's see how much they invested, right? The U.S. government does not typically buy direct equity investments in private corporations, but it is heavily backed Palantir through billions of dollars in federal procurement contracts. You see? So they put billions of dollars. They've backed Palantir with billions of dollars, man. Okay? All right? Billions. All right? And I already read right here that Palantir is the brain, pretty much the brain software for robotics. So you think the U.S. government invested all of this money into this organization to not do anything with it? No, they getting ready to come full speed ahead, all right, with this. Okay? With this. Right? This is patrolling the streets. This is going to be the new police officers. Okay? Let's keep going. It says commercial robotics and edge AI. Sarcos Robotics. Palantir partnered with Sarcos Robotics, maker of the Guardian XT upper body robot empowered exoskeletons. Nightscope, which builds autonomous security robots like outdoor surveillance units, utilizes Palantir managed clusters to process real-time security data. All right, so you get the point, man. Okay? The U.S. government is going in this direction. All right? And a lot of you people, a lot of you Americans, all right, are going to really be put to death by these robots, man. Okay? A lot of you Americans are going to be put to death by robots, man. Now imagine that. You would have never thought, the average person never in a million years would have thought that at the end of their life, they was going to be put to death by robots, man. Okay? But this is what it's coming to. This is the mark of the beast system. Okay? Because who do you think is going to enforce people to receive the mark? All right? It's going to be these robots, man. And these robots are going to be paying attention. They're going to be constantly watching, okay, to make sure that people bow down to the system, right? So let me, I put this in ChatGPT, okay? I put, explain to me in detail what a dystopian future America would look like if robots were the authorities. All right. And let's just see what it has to say, because it's going to say some interesting things, man. Right. A lot of what you've seen in these clips right here. OK, these movie clips, how these robots have taken over and these robots have become the authority. All right. It says, imagine an America where humanoid robots have become the primary police force, corrections officers, border agents, and perhaps even judges. Whether that future is dystopian depends on who controls the robots, what rules they're programmed to follow. Here's what a worst-case dystopian version might look like. Streets. Every corner is watched. Okay? Surveillance. All right? Social credit score. Right? You know? This is why Esau is building all of these cameras. This is why Esau, okay, got these data centers up and running. All right. And they talking about sometime this year, there's getting ready to be a water famine. Right. No more water because they using this water to keep these AI data centers cool. Right. And these AI data centers. All right. Well, these robots, these drones and robots that they want to have out here on these streets. OK, the AI data centers is going to be the brain of it. OK, so they're dead serious about this, man. Right. And everything is going to be watched. You know, you're not going to be able to get away with nothing. You're not going to be able to jaywalk. You're not going to be able to try to steal money from the bank. You're not going to be able to walk inside of a grocery store and you ain't got the proper verification. They're going to be on your ass with these robots and these drones, man. OK, It says thousands of cameras, microphones, facial recognition systems, and drones create a network where nearly every public movement is recorded. The robot officers don't get distracted or tired. They remember every interaction you've ever had with them. Let's keep going down. It says walking down the street feels different because you know every action is being analyzed by AI. Your facial expressions, walking speed, heart rate, and how you think they're going to be able to get your heart rate. How you think they're going to be able to know your heart rate? Because they want to have that technology inside of you, right? That technology that they want to put inside of people is going to directly connect to the AI centers. It's going to directly connect to Palantir. It's, the robots will be able to identify, right, the technology that you got inside of you. So that way they can identify you, man. All right. Let's keep going. It says constant surveillance. Your digital and physical life merge. Your purchases, internet searches, employment history, driving habits, medical records, where legally accessible, and social media activity feed into a government risk score. All right. People begin changing their behavior because they assume they're always being watched. Privacy becomes a luxury than a right. Law enforcement. Robot officers never lose patience. Let's jump down. Social credit. Many dystopian stories imagine a social score. Your score rises if you pay taxes on time, avoid infractions, follow regulations. Well, you remember what the WEF said, you will own nothing and be happy, okay? Meaning that they're going to lock you into a system where the only thing you can do is follow the rules or die or go to prison for the rest of your life, okay? No more doing shit your way. No more trying to be an innovator, okay? No more private-owned businesses. Everything will be regulated through the U.S. government, man. All right? And they will have these robots out here to keep an eye on you. And if you get out of line, the robot will not hesitate and will have no mercy on you, okay? And they will execute you in the middle of the street, man. Just like how you seen in them clips, all right? It says it drops if you repeatedly violate laws, engage in fraud, accumulate unpaid fines, all right? And with that social credit score system, it's like credit. Well, that's why the word credit is in there, right? And you already know how credit works in this society. If you don't have a good credit score, then you either can't access certain resources, right? Or the resources are gonna, be a lot higher in price. But with this social credit score, they're gonna increase that times 10. If you don't play by the rules, you won't be able to buy any food. You won't be able to have a house. You won't even be able to talk to anybody. You're pretty much going to be a criminal on the run. So imagine if a nigga don't pay a parking ticket. He's let a parking ticket go for 2 months. Okay. You mean to tell me that the nigga can't go inside of the store and he can't buy himself nothing to eat anymore? He can't put gas in his car, right? He can't have a relationship with his family because he didn't pay a parking ticket. Esau is the devil, man. All right. And this is what Esau wants to bring. He wants to bring this upon the earth. All right. And keep people, fully dependent on him. Because remember, the scriptures say that Esau wants to play God on earth. OK, so these robots are a way that he feels I could be God on earth. I could see everything and everybody at all times. All right. Employment. It says robots don't only police. Many jobs become automated. All right. Millions of people struggle to find work. Large technology companies become extremely powerful because they own the AI infrastructure. All right. Let's see. Daily life. Ordinary routines become highly automated. Leaving home may involve identity scans, automated tolls, continuous location tracking, AI managed public transportation, robotic inspections at government buildings. Okay? They want to keep an eye on you at all times. That's why they have that quote, Big Brother is watching. Okay? They want to see everything you do. All right? So that's it on that. Let's get some scriptures, man. All right? Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18, and then we'll get it in a different translation. This is a Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18. It says, or unknown beast, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. Okay? And this is talking about creatures that are newly created. All right? You know, because, you know, these robots are kind of like creatures, man, that Esau has created in a fucking laboratory to put hell on people, man. Okay? Now let's get that in a different translation. All right? In the CEB. All right? Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18 in the CEB. It says, or they could have been met by newly created beasts, right? And those robots, hey, those are newly created. They're scientists are creating them, right? You know, and like I said, Elon Musk already said he's summoning a demon with AI, right? So they're probably putting wicked spirits. That, you know, it's probably witches and warlocks that's involved with that robot situation, and they probably putting, you know, spirits inside of them fucking robots, man, right? Because when you really think about it, how do you get a whole bunch of just metal parts, right? And, you know, the fucking, all of the metal, because metal is not alive, right? But somehow, some way, you got a whole bunch of metal parts put together, lumped up together in the shape of a goddamn person. And next thing you know, the fucking, the all of the metal parts just start walking and talking on their own, right? It has a mind of its own. The only logical explanation for that to happen is you had to put a goddamn spirit inside of that, right? And you got it running around functioning, trying to be normal, right? So these are newly created things that nobody has ever seen before, okay? It says full of rage, breathing fire, belching smoke, and shooting deadly sparks from their eyes, right? Causing hell on people, okay? You know, putting people down. Anybody that don't want to submit, all right, these robots are going to be right there to snap your ass back in line, okay? Just like you've seen in the movie clips, all right? Let's get this real quick. This is Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. Right. And when people are face to face with these robots and people are, you know, living in this dystopian future, which is coming very soon. OK, you know, men are going to be crying. People are going to be fucked up. Right. Because how do you negotiate with a robot? Right. Like, you know how Jake be hollering out for police brutality and, hey, man, come on now. You know what I mean? But how you going to do that with a robot, right? If you niggas complain, right, about the robot doing its job, the robot will turn around and smoke your ass, right? Robots are going to be grabbing people out of their house. You know, it's going to be bad pretty soon, man. Okay, this is the future that Esau wants to bring to America, man. Right? It says, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Yeah, and that's what this is. See, Esau is going to pump it up as if like this world of robots is just so great. You know, go watch the movie I, Robot, man. Right? In that movie I, Robot, they show you from start to finish, right? In the beginning of the movie, they introduce robots to society, and they pump it up as if it's like some great technological advancement that could really forward the human evolution. And then towards the end of it all, the fucking robots crash out and start murdering people, man. All right. It turns out that, the motherfucker who created the robots in the movie had a sinister agenda the entire time. He was an Edomite, right? So it's the same thing going on here. Okay. So when this comes to pass, all right, it's going to be a day of darkness and gloominess, man. Right. Imagine people when there's a famine, people in line, right, trying to get their rations, right, and they're being rationed out food from fucking robots, right? And you ain't gonna be able to outsmart a robot. A robot can scan you with high level technology, right? Remember, they invested billions of dollars into this, man. Okay, so I just wanted to make this video, right, just to show that, hey, this is coming to America pretty soon. All right. And the thing is, Esau is not going to get too far with this shit, but he's going to be able to, put boots on the ground with these robots to a certain extent. Right. Because you got to remember, Yahushua is coming back, and Yahushua is going to stop this man right in the middle of him trying to create this madness, trying to establish this madness forever. Right. Yahushua is going to come back and put an end to it, because really it's wicked and it's unnatural. Okay. And this should have destroyed the earth. People are already saying that them data centers is fucking up the environment, man. Right. Fucking up the environment, sucking up all the water. Right. Destabilizing the area that those data centers are in. Right. Now imagine when let's just say, which, Lord willing, it's not going to be 20 years, but let's just say 20 years later, where robots have fully integrated in society, right? Imagine how many data centers they're going to have around the world, right? The earth is really going to be suffering. So, this is why Yahushua got to come back and put a stop to this devil, because, Esau's plans, Esau's little wicked devices will eventually destroy the earth. All right. And the Lord has to save his elect out of this day of trouble. But for the rest of our people, 2/3 of our people are going to be subject to this, man. 2/3 of our people are going to be hauled off to concentration camps by these robots, right? 2/3 of our people are going to, they're going to deal with a fucking robot dropping out of a drone, just like this movie, right? And the robot, putting them to death because they have a warrant, right? And Lord willing, hey, the men of the Lord, this is why we're going to need spiritual power, because these robots, you can't fight these fucking robots, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't punch on this robot, man. They might even make these robots bulletproof, man. So then what? You're going to need that spiritual power. That's why the Lord is going to rise up the elect with that spiritual power as a defense, right? To fight against these robots, man. Right? It's just like the movie X-Men, right? When you watch that movie X-Men, Days of Future Past, it got to a point to where they created some robots in that movie, and they created these robots to kill off all the mutants, right? And the robots were hunting down the mutants. So it could very well get to a point to where the Lord rises up the elect with spiritual power, and we got to go toe to toe with Esau's technology. All right. So if you don't repent to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay, you're going to be subject to some of the most horrific things. All right. From Esau's, his satanic agenda upon earth. Right. You're going to be subject to this type of madness, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Till the next time. Shalom. Shalom.